Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. Happy Monday. It's going to be a great week. Don't look at me like that. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great week. We've got to thank some new members, some new EPN members. We've got Metric Gaming. Thank you. And Jonathan McFowle. Thank you so much. And we've got Illmatic662 says, I cannot believe Victor Lucas is around on YouTube. Listen, it's too much fun making Electric Playground. What else am I going to do? I love doing this. And that's why we got you this rundown. It looks like the Star Wars universe is going to infiltrate the universe of spies and espionage. The new live-action series focusing on Rogue One hero Cassian Andor has recruited the Americans producer Stephen Schiff as showrunner. This indicates that the series will have a more spy-centric tone, which makes sense given that it will explore Cassian Andor's days as a rebel spy against the Galactic Empire. Rogue One co-star Diego Luna is already set to reprise the role, although no word if other Rogue One characters will appear. The show will be available exclusively on the new subscription streaming service Disney Plus, along with another new Star Wars series, The Mandalorian. That arrives next year. This is getting to be an offer we cannot refuse. I cannot wait for these shows. Even if, you know, the light on Star Wars has dimmed a titch, these sound very exciting. I've heard that the Rogue One show sounds ridiculously cool. I really hope K2SO is in that show. And I've heard that The Mandalorian also sounds amazing. So I am very excited. The Americans is an incredible show, by the way. I haven't caught every season, but I've watched a few, and I've loved every single episode. If you've never seen the Americans, do yourself a favor and watch that. Are we not in the golden age of incredible television? I was just thinking today, I'm still not caught up on all the CW superhero shows. And we've got Batwoman about to be shown off. I can't believe it. What a world. Microsoft has taken a big bite out of Apple and other tech companies. When the markets closed on Friday evening, Microsoft surpassed Apple to become the most valuable U.S. company on the stock exchange. This is the first time Microsoft has claimed the top spot since 2002, and it follows a steady rise of the company's value thanks largely to its successful embrace of cloud computing technology, which has been a priority of new CEO Satya Nadella. Microsoft has been developing cloud technology mostly for business enterprises, but they're also planning to use it for gaming with their new cloud streaming service, Project xCloud, expected to begin rolling out next year. You know, I thought that this rise in their market value was all due to the backwards compatibility of the Xbox One and people being able to play SSX3 on their Xbox One X in 4K. I thought that's what it was all, but apparently this cloud computing thing, it's taking off. It's going to be a big deal. Yeah, congrats to Microsoft. They're kind of like this, I mean, they're a behemoth, but we forget about them. They're so big, right? And then they're like the tortoise and the hare race. You know, Apple's always out there with all the buzz and the hype but you know, all the stuff that they release all the time. And everybody's got their eyes on Apple. Meanwhile, Microsoft is just like playing the long game with all of these things, like all of their purchases of developers for the Xbox platforms. Going to be interesting to see what they do with all of this goodwill and earned capital. All right, another big game studio is sadly in very big trouble. Payday developer Overkill Software and their parent company Starbreeze Studios are in desperate financial trouble following the poor reception of their latest game, a first-person shooter based on The Walking Dead. They filed for financial reconstruction, which is the Swedish version of bankruptcy, which they hope will give them the ability to negotiate a long-term financial solution and implement changes to their organization. Thankfully, no staff has been laid off, but Starbreeze says part of their reconstruction plan is to cut costs, so that may change. They had high hopes for their Walking Dead game when it was first announced back in 2014, but since then, the Walking Dead franchise as a whole has dropped in popularity. It also didn't help that the game received poor reviews and has been nowhere near as successful as their Payday franchise. Yeah, I played a little bit of the Walking Dead game at an E3 event earlier this year, and it felt out of touch. It felt out of date, and it wasn't thrilling enough. It felt clunky and cumbersome. There's some pretty good fidelity and a pretty good experience of you know, getting lost in the Walking Dead universe in terms of visuals and sort of the ambience. But yeah, it just didn't play that well. It wasn't that fun to play, which is really unfortunate. I'm a huge fan of Starbreeze. I visited Starbreeze when they were working on The Darkness in Sweden, and we had an incredible time there. And God, they're so talented. They made the Riddick games out there. I almost wish they would make new you know, iterations or sequels or revamps of those kinds of games, just to drum up some interest in what that company is capable of. Same goes with The Darkness. You know, it'd be great to have a some kind of a remastered edition of Darkness 1 and Darkness 2, that would be amazing. But, you know, my best thoughts and my best wishes go out to all those at Starbreeze and Overkill. I hope you guys pull out of this. And I know there are incredible developers out there all throughout Sweden. Sweden's an amazing game-making country, and I hope you guys are building us something very cool very soon. The next time you're walking around the woods with your Nintendo Switch, you'll be able to walk around the woods in your Nintendo Switch. The 2016 outdoor adventure game Firewatch will hit the Switch on December 17th. Developer Campo Santo first announced the Switch version earlier this year, saying that it's been optimized to render and load faster than the previous versions, and the controls have also been updated to be more responsive. Firewatch, with its unique blend of storytelling and gameplay, caught the attention of Half-Life maker Valve, who bought Campo Santo a few months ago. This makes the Switch version of Firewatch their first release since being acquired by Valve. Campo Santo is also working on the archaeological adventure in the Valley of the Gods, due out next year. Firewatch is incredible. And if you are one of those lucky Switch owners, and you know, there is this little bit of envy that I have for a lot of Switch players out there that have chosen to make this their exclusive portal into the video game universe, because the Switch, although the eShop is getting glutted, there is also this, you know, huge amount of fantastic software that is finding its way into that store and onto that system, and it's almost like the natural curation systems that exist in the video game space, where the indie games that deserve the most love and attention are filtering to the Switch, and it's a great platform because, of course, you can carry it around with you, and you know, some of these games are a little smaller in budget for sure, but also in scope and you know, crazy graphical texture qualities and things like that, and they almost they look great on the big screen, but they are fantastic to port around with you. And I think Firewatch is going to be one of those games. I think it's going to be a game that people will be playing on airplanes, and you'll see them misting up and crying because the story is very mature and complex and rewarding and wonderful. And I look forward to your thoughts on Firewatch if you haven't played it yet. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for our rundown today. Do me a favor, if you see this video as a separated little piece out there, share this with everybody you know with the hashtag PlayForever, okay? Right now, let's move on over to this day and everything cool.